We have a job to do today. This Vax Air Steerable Max Pets came to me over the weekend and apparently it is not too well. Ugh. There is no suction. The Brushroll is completely clogged up with hair. And judging by the state of my carpet now, it is spewing crap everywhere. Let's fix that if we can. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner chums. How are you today? I've had a little bit of a break from filming actually. Not that you'll notice, but I haven't done any filming for a week or two now. I've been on holiday. Yes, I went up to Scotland to go to Shitefest. Then it was Eva's birthday. And now I'm back at work and ready for more vacuum fun, and we start with this Vax machine, which I have seen before because it has one of my stickers on the back from my homebrew repair studio. Yes, the money making part of my hobby. So we shall take off the frankly awful hose, extension hose, the incredibly battered dusting brush, because we're not too fussed about all that. We need to work out why this thing is not sucking up and also try and sort out that horrifically hairy brush roll. So this is a Vax Air Steerable Max Pets. The model number is U88-AMM-PE. And yeah, this is one of the typical Vax machines which works very well when it works, but when it doesn't it is terrible. And we're going to start with the basics, which is going to be to have a look at the filter. There we go, look, that is hopefully why, although it might be blocked. We shall run the vacuum cleaner. I have the Lux R1 today as our bench vac, so let us clean this up. I think this filter will be washed as well. We'll get it working and... hang on, this is an auto, right, match. Obviously it dips the suction just when I need it the most. So we'll clean this off well. Because we want to actually get it running first. We're not going for the full strip down and refurb. I think I vaguely remember this machine, and if I recall correctly it came in for roughly the same sort of work last year, in 2017, so it's a very common Vax issue this. Right, let's put that back on and see if it blows its relief valve straight away. There we go. So we are now working well in that respect. However, what we are not working well in any respect is the state of the brush roll, which isn't currently turning, I don't think. Oh, it is. Right. You didn't see any of that, but if I bring you down, I will show you how to take the brush roll itself out to give it a proper service. So we'll unplug the thing first. I I'll take the handle off just so that I can have some flipping room, and I'll bring you down closer to have a look at this disgusting thing. Here we are. So we have even more crap spewed about the floor now. Now with these Vaxers, the brush roll doesn't quite just come out. You start by removing the 3 screws on the top. But I've done a belt change video on one of these before, and this is roughly very similar. So you take the 3 screws out and take the end cap off. They'll be full of rubbish. Then you can pop this cap off here, which is screwed down with the end plate. We'll take the belt off, which is just a little toothed affair. Then you can slide the brush roll out. Ugh, look at that. With the 2 end caps, which are looking a little bit melted with all of that hair that's been dragging around inside there. If I open up my toolbox, we'll get a little knife out, and all we need to do is just cut all the hair out, really, like so. This should be done on an upright very regularly, especially if, like the owner of this machine, you shed your hair a lot. This is human hair, not animal hair. Obviously if you've got animal hair you should do it as well. Basically the pitfall of owning an upright vacuum cleaner: they do clean very well, but require some maintenance. Now obviously Vax make it more difficult to do this than most other manufacturers, because you have to disassemble the thing quite a lot. You can do it in situ, but it's not quite as easy to do because you've got to fumble around through that little gap. And it's just not as easy. Obviously most manufacturers you can just pop the base paint off and pop the brush roll out. Not quite so on Vax, but it's not too bad. If you follow this you shall see it. So I'm not going to pick it 100% clean. In there is all full of rubbish as well, so we'll pick as much of that out as we can. See, it's just packed in fact it has melted. Oh gosh, that seized that bearing. Ooh, let's have a quick look at that. This one is okay, but obviously all the hair is very tightly wrapped around this end cog here. So basically you just need to chip away with a very sharp knife. These are 10 for a quid at Poundland. Ideal for doing this sort of disposable work. Blimey, it's coming. Because you can't get the whole blade in, you just got to pick away at it piece by piece. Jesus, it just keeps coming. Must be nearly there by now. Well, there's one bit, just out of that little bit there. Whew, sweating already. This is hard work, isn't it? Oh, we must be nearly done now because I can see black. The blackness of the below plastic area, shall we call it. Right, nearly there. Just a few more strands which we'll get whilst we're going into this much depth. There we go. So all of that came off with the brush roll. No, you're not going to just turn on, are you? Come on. let's have a quick look at this seed bearing. Can't do an awful lot, but if we can just get it to turn, blimey. Ah, hang on. Ah, well, that's slightly easier. The whole thing does come off. Oh, it is spinning. Hang on. No, this is the whole thing is so seized on. Oh, blimey. There's not much hope for that. Ooh. Gosh, I think we might just have to ignore this and not mention anything, because all of that is compacted in hair. You might be able to buy a Brushroll from Vax, or my back's hurting instead like this, hang on. There we go. You might be able to buy a Brushroll from Vax, but I very much doubt it. Oh, right, we can take the cap off the bearing. And I'm just going to bring the knife back a little bit to its first notch, and we'll see if we can chip away all of this burnt on. This is all melted hair that's coming out of here. I can see the balls now in my bearing. I can see my balls. I'm not that overweight. Easy now. Easy. So we can see that bit now. So I'm wondering if I hold these tight, I might. Ah, it is moving. You just got to work it all around, and then eventually everything will free off enough for us to stick some lubricant in there. It's still burnt on crud under here, but I don't think I'm going to be too successful in getting that off. I'll be more successful chopping my fingers off than getting that off. So that now moves a little bit, which isn't bad. We're just going to chop out all this burnt hair in here a little bit. Again, can't do it too much because that is properly burnt in to that bit there. So we'll push this back in before we do any more damage. I'm going to use a little bodge, because I don't have any actual oil on me. A little squirt of, yes, Mr. Epic Player 01 Tesco furniture polish, as you so rightly mentioned in another video. This is knackered. This is just enough to just lubricate that. I think it's going to need the vice grips again, just to actually turn the bearing itself and not the inner plastic. And eventually I just want to be able to turn it by hand. Once I can turn it by hand, that will do. We're not aiming for perfection here, just good enough, just to give it another year or so of life. Ah, there we get it. I can now just about, although my hands are now incredibly slippery and my cloth is, hang on, ooh, have a look at my back, under here. So if I can just hold it with this cloth, there we go, that is now very badly turning by hand, which is alright really, it'll do. In fact, this bit here seems to be slipping up and down quite well. I wonder if we can just tease that down just a little bit with, don't know really. Okay, that's now moving as it should almost now. So we've unseized that. It's not perfect, but then what in life is, I'll stick a little bit more. I can't believe I'm exalting the virtues of using furniture polish as a bearing lubricant, but hey ho. it just goes to show that anything will work if you persevere hard enough. Oh, look at the state of that. Again, I'm just going to refit this because we'll get too far into it. That is now moving enough for me to be happy with. I say happy, it's moving. What I will do, well, there's the other end cap, look. Crikey. Jesus. That's good then, so we can fit the end cap, which just about squeezes on. I'm going to just get some all-purpose cleaner. Yes. Some proper all-purpose cleaner. I'll just try and rub some of this crud off here, just because, why not? It'll make it look a bit nicer. It'll make it perform a little bit better. Or I can have a little rant as well about EU bodges looking at this. Hang on, let me just tidy up this. You can see already, look, that's a bit better. These are, where are you? Oh crumbs, horrible thing. These are the sealing strips that manufacturers are putting onto vacuum cleaners, have been for some time now, to pass the EU hard floor test, because it stops the dirt going behind the unit. And they're great when they're new, however when they're like this, they're not so great. In fact, one would say that they are worse than not having anything. They're fine for obviously passing the EU regulation and getting certified and all that malarkey, but in daily use, especially if, like the owner of this machine, you are not as fastidious in your maintenance of your machines, as I'm sure all of my viewers are. Obviously you don't do this every time, but you obviously don't run your machines over damp carpet like this has. They're not quite so good at all. Gosh, this scuttle is literally destroying this crud. That's lovely. And yeah, they just don't work as well. They also then stick to the floor with the grease and the grime and the yuck and the disgusting. And oh my gosh, look at the state of that wheel. I'm not turning this into a full refurb thread by any stretch, but crikey. I'm going to give that a bit of a wipe down. Yes, we are. We'll do the other wheel as well. Just to make it look a little bit more lovely. So I'm going to wash the filter. I obviously won't do that on camera. We'll do that at another time. I don't think I need to show you the after effects of washing the filter because it's going to be the same. Oh, there you go. Here's the other two. Here, look. Again, they're just worn down to practically nothing. This machine will be a couple of years old, but it is terrible. What I am also going to do is pop out these two front wheels, look, and remove all the crap that is wedged in there, causing them to not turn. And again, we'll just a little drop of scuttle. I'm going to use more of this scuttle on these, I think, for this sort of thing than on the carpet. I'll keep the bottle though, but I think the liquid is probably fit to be used. There we go, look, get all that nice and clean so it actually rotates. Hang on, there's something wedged in there. Oh wow, that is compacted and that is what was inside. Gosh. That spins beautifully now, look. Look at that. Where's my damp part of the cloth, just to get this off. Give that a wipe. Do the other one because it's going to be just as bad. Look, it's growing. I wonder if I can poke it out on camera. Good old Vax. They know how to build a long-lasting, easy to maintain vacuum cleaner nowadays, don't they? Jesus Christ. Utter shower of balls. But I suppose do this every year. This would have been £100 and something, not top of the line per se, but you know, not bargain basement either. Machine. And if you maintain your machine properly, I mean, I know obviously I harp on about vacuum cleaners not being as good as they were, but this, you know, I'm not the biggest vac supporter, as you know, but this is bad. This is there's no excuse for this at all for any manufacturer or vacuum, no matter what your political views are on these things. There we go. So I'll pop the 2 end caps in there. Got to get the belt back on, which is glorious fun as always. There we go, because obviously now it can move. It didn't move before because it was so wedged together with crud. There we go, and then this is all not going to sit quite right until I screw this on, which isn't going to be terribly easy to do, because at the end, no, nothing has popped out. This is just going to be fiddly. This end piece here isn't going in because for some reason it wants to sit proud. So there's nothing wrong with being proud as long as you sit flipping where I want you to sit. Come on, you sod. I'm just going to see if a good old-fashioned wagging in of the screw is going to put it together enough to do the job. And then we're going to make it clean up its own mess. Not having all this in my lovely, if not actually still quite filthy, Electrolux 1R. Not that a lot of it has already gone in there, I know. There we go. So that spins just. Let us plug back in and see if it still works. Beautiful. Very smelly, but working. Whilst I have a damp cloth, we'll just give this a bit of a wipe over. I'll do the bin another day just to get the dust off, to make it look nice. While we're here, we'll have a quick check of the, I have seen this before because there's one of my air fresheners. That's not too bad. I really can't remember what I've done to this machine. I think I have just done what we've done here and not an awful lot else. Oh, there's somebody hammering outside. That's very kind of them. I'm just doing this top seal here, top rubber seal, just to make it look good. There we go. Oh no, there we don't go. Really, come on, how do you fit? There's locking tabs here. I reckon that might do it. Yes. Check the suction now. If I tidy my tools away, let's put the lid back on the scuttle. There we go. I'm going to tidy away, reposition, and we'll check it out. Right. Let's just see what rubbish it picks up now. Oh, that works well now. tell you what, I will give facts their due. Yes, their machines are fiddly, not very well engineered, quite horrible to work on, everything else, but they do work well when they work. I mean, most of that is from this. I'm just going to empty it now because we'll just give the bin a quick wipe over. The inside will be going over. There we go, that wasn't too horrific. We'll just wipe the inside of and the outside, looking at this, crikey, with a damp cloth. Not going for my usual Concours standard here, just make it look better than it did. All in here as well, blimey. Go do this rubber seal in the bin, make it all seal nicely, do all the other rubber seals. So this would be a bit of a beast if it was fully refurbished. Dare say we'll see one soon if I pick one up cheaply from somewhere. They are quite cheap to buy now because normally they do this and people throw them away, which is fine by me. That's when I pick it up and we see them here, but say this isn't mine, so we won't go too completely nuts. There's still crap falling out of there, but you can't have everything, can you? I am now quite filthy, but that is fine because I can wipe myself down in a minute. So we'll pop that in there. This is a little bit fiddly, just getting all this bit in. Lining up the tabs and twisting, gets the shroud in, then lining up the other two tabs and twisting gets the shroud base in, and then this bit just really badly sits on there like so. There we go. So I'll take the filter out and wash that. But that looks a bit more presentable, doesn't it? Oh, a bit more filthy than I thought I would get. Whoops. And just for good measure, we shall stick. Where are they? Where are you, air fresheners? Really? Wasn't supposed to take this long. Ruined my usual professionalism. Where the heck are they? I was going to wag an air freshener in, but they're not here. Oh, and I've kicked the tripod again. Oh, screw you, I'll do it in a bit. I'll stick an air freshener in before it goes back, rather than on camera now, because I cannot seem to find them. But, hey ho. So there we go, really, how to, in a matter of minutes, rescue a very poorly Max air steerable Mac Pets. This is how the hose fits on. Seems a little bit completely terrible to me. literally just does that, and that's it. This thing, I'm going to clip to there rather than here, because I think it should clip onto here. It's fallen off. They've clipped it elsewhere. That actually clips on there, and that hose just flops around like a flaccid penis, getting in the way of everything. There we go, we have 900 watts of pure raw suction power back. And this one is job done. So, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye.